Welcome to the Retirement Caddie. I'm Mallory Hoff alongside David Wilkinson. In just a moment, outdated retirement planning, it can come at a price. But taking an updated approach just isn't something most retirees have taken a class on.
We'll discuss life after your paycheck stops, how the market can give and also take away, and taxes. The surprises for some that have long been hiding in plain sight. Plus your retirement GPS, what it means to navigate your post-working years with confidence. The Retirement Caddie tees off right now.
This is the Retirement Caddie with Matt Eilers, a financial advisor and the founder of Medalist Wealth Management, a Grand Rapids area firm that focuses on preparing people for retirement. Matt is also a podcast and radio show host. Now it's time for the Retirement Caddie.
Great to have you alongside. A loaded episode today. And look, I think when people are getting ready for retirement, they do a great job. They put their heads down, they work really hard, they save a lot of money, and then they're trying to figure out, okay, how do I make that money last? And then, of course, taxes.
Absolutely. So, Matt, let me ask you this. How can we actually enjoy our retirement party without having that sinking feeling about the next 1, 2, maybe 3 decades of life?
I think it all comes down to, do you have a plan to know where you're going? Or are you just jumping right in, not knowing what your retirement journey is going to look like? To me, I believe planning starts early. It can't start at the water cooler when you're talking about, retiring and riding off into the sunset next week. This starts years in advance. And for those that know, all right, I've got it all spelled out. I've got a written plan. I know what I'm going to do. I think that's the key to really bring that confidence into knowing we can do this. And we have a high likelihood of sustainability and reliability, and we are ready to go for all of the blind spots and the things that life could possibly throw our way.
Talk about things being thrown your way, though, the market, though. How do you approach that really at this stage of life? I mean, everybody's situation is clearly different, but when you're in that retirement red zone, taking on risk probably isn't the best thing to do.
Yeah, well, there's a buzzword out there, it's volatility.
Yeah.
Everybody hears about it, and if you're not familiar with what that is at home, it's think of it as jumping into a swimming pool. And to the degree that the waves are going up and down is really how volatile the water is. So if you've got a bunch of kids splashing in the deep end on all of their floaties and creating, a wave pool, that's a very volatile environment.
Sure.
Versus, if you walk out on the back porch and the pool is glass and no one's jumped in yet, that's very low volatility. So when it comes to the markets, they tend to have their own different ways that they move around. And when we're in extremely volatile markets, we can see things going up and down like the wave pool. It's a fun ride up, but the way back down is not so fun. So if you're, staring at retirement just around the corner, volatility can really make you uncomfortable if you don't have a plan in place to handle that along the way.
Okay, so speaking of which, what are the biggest mistakes that you're seeing retirees make in this moment?
So in this moment, I find so many families that are taking way more risk than they really should be as they get that close to that line in the sand day when they're no longer receiving a paycheck, they're creating their own.
Okay.
Taxes can be your largest expense in retirement. Can be. Could also be healthcare, but we'll focus on Uncle Sam right now. What do retirees really need to be focused on as they approach this next stage of life?
So when we're talking about the T word, that's a big deal. I actually think it's even more important than handling volatility the right way, because it can be the single largest expense that you may have, if not, implementing tax strategies along the way. Because if you think about it, you have all this money that you've accumulated through all your working years, and for most people out there, maybe they've got 401ks or 403bs or IRAs, 457s, TSPs, all these things are pretty much synonymous for tax-deferred assets. The key word there is deferred. There's been no taxes paid, and for many, these retirement accounts are their largest asset. And we have to think about, okay, how long is this asset going to last? Is it going to be another 20, 30 years? Where are taxes going to go? We know where we're at right now, but none of us have a crystal ball. We can't, tell the future about 10, 15 years from now. How much is that going to cost us, as we spend down that nest egg, which, believe it or not, we're actually going to be forced to do at some point by way of required minimum distribution. So there's a lot that's wound up in that topic that you brought up there.
Matt, with ChatGPT, AI, so much knowledge, so many resources out there, what do you say to the person who says, I've got this, I'm going to plan my own retirement?
Proceed with caution.
Okay.
And in fact, I wouldn't do that at all. What I do see is that we've got some incredible tools at our disposal to get information.
Okay.
But I view that as an education. That's where it stops. When it comes to making decisions about your retirement, I think you need to talk to a professional. Like, if you had a major medical issue that you had to plan for, I'm not going into ChatGPT personally to say, hey, how do I operate this surgery? No, I'm going to go see the surgeon. Maybe I'll educate myself and learn about some of the options and maybe what the recovery looks like for some people, but I'm not going to be the one to try and perform it on myself. So I think that right now we're in this really interesting spot in the world where technology is evolving so quickly, but I think that it has to stop at education if it's not your profession.
And with that sentiment in mind, the time to act is now.
Indeed, today exclusively for our Retirement Caddie viewers, Matt has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your next steps to get ready for retirement. The number to call right now is 616-779-7726. Once again, that number, 616-779-7726.
We all know them, the people who spend all day, every day watching the stock market. They live and die by the opening and closing bell. So what's the alternative? And is there a better way? Matt, this is no way to live.
Right, correct. I think so many people get lost in all the headlines about the ups and the downs in the markets. They don't know what to do. And then there's the group of people that try and do it themselves. And what I say to families that we meet with is, there's this thing out there called the 3 T's. And this is going to help you determine if you should be trying to be your own advisor, so to speak.
Okay, try us.
So the 3 T's, you've got time, you've got talent, and you've got temperament. The first one is time. What that means is, do you have the right amount of time to invest in learning and in absorbing everything in the world of investing and taxes and Social Security and risk and all these different things? Maybe you do. The next thing, though, is talent. Do you have the talent to be really that professional to build a plan? If you have the right amount of time, you might be able to develop that talent, but it's the 3rd T that really brings it all into, I guess, picture, and that's temperament.
Okay.
Temperament. Number 1, do you love it? Do you love being obsessed in the markets and all these different things? Or are you too emotionally attached to those decisions? And, when the time comes to make a tough decision, is your emotion going to cloud what might be best for you? So those 3 T's are always a good thing to consider if you're trying to do it yourself.
Incredibly important, especially when there is a wealth of knowledge out there. And I do think people get overconfident. Let's talk about these market fluctuations. What do we really need to know about volatility as we approach retirement?
It all comes down to how much risk you're able to take and have a healthy retirement. And that answer is unique for every single person. At our office, we measure risk on a scale of 1 to 99, where 1 is you're the most conservative person in the world, you take no risk, and 99 takes all the risk in the world, right? They have all their money in cryptocurrency,
there we go.
For example. Somewhere on that spectrum is every family that we visit with. And if they come out at a 47, well, we need to go and then measure their investment portfolio to determine what's its investment score. If they're a 47, are they invested like an 80 or are they invested like a 20? And when we see this, we have to make some very important changes.
Absolutely. I want to talk FOMO for a second, fear of missing out. How do those conversations go in your office?
Well, I hate to let fear steer any decision that an investor is making, whether it's the fear of not making enough money in the gains in the market, or whether it be the fear of not having enough money to live on throughout retirement. Let's set fear aside and let's have a conversation about what are we really needing to accomplish, and we can sort all of the different things out: risk, taxes, longevity, your family situation, and let's make decisions based off of math and logic and not fear.
Okay, so diving a little deeper into risk for a moment, how can you truly understand what you should be risking as you get closer to retirement or if you're in retirement?
Yeah, I think it comes down to having a understanding of exactly why you own what you own inside of your investment portfolio, and understanding where it's appropriate to be taking certain amounts of risk that are really your number, so to speak, the right fit risk for you. We need to know, where can we take risk? Where should we maybe not take as much risk or take no risk? And it comes down to the financial plan to help us get there.
How often do you find people are taking on more risk than they even realize?
Very often. It's It's uncommon for someone to come in and visit with us and sit down and their risk be in alignment with their actual portfolio. So that's where we have to just roll up the sleeves and go to work.
Matt, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate it. And coming up on the Retirement Caddie, so many of us have no desire to ask for directions, but could a GPS for retirement allow us to take a better route? Hard truths ahead. But first, David will put Matt on the clock. And now, exclusively for our Retirement Caddie viewers, Matt has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or more, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan analyzing where you are right now and discuss your next steps to really get ready for retirement. The number to call right now, 616-779-7726.
Time now for the fastest 15 seconds in retirement. It is 15 in 15, 15 topics in 15 seconds from Matt. Are you ready, my friend?
Let's go.
Here we go. Fire it up. Question number 1. Big man with big advice? Shaq told the Wall Street Journal that he only invests in what he understands. Now, that works well for Shaq, but how can the rest of us decide which investments are appropriate?
Well, he is a big man, that's for sure,
Yes,
with big opinions. But he's not wrong here. I believe that you need to have a reason for why you own everything that you own, and that starts with information. It starts with education. We shouldn't buy something based off of emotion. We should understand what we're doing, and we should understand how this investment or whatever it is that we're looking to acquire can take a place in an active role inside our financial plan.
Powerful answer. Question number 2, stocks, and more stocks. That's the game we play when we're working. For those in the retirement red zone, though, that keep pumping money into Wall Street, what's your caution?
My caution would be, let's just pause for a moment to figure out, are you taking any amount of unnecessary risk that could be taken off the table? It's like being at the casino, perhaps, playing blackjack. Is it time to pull some chips off the table with more of a preservation mindset for a chunk of your portfolio? And still investing in stocks may not be a bad idea at all. It's just to what degree is appropriate for you.
Yeah, run those numbers. Question number 3, your 401k can be viewed by many as a set it and forget it type of investment, but how can people take a more proactive approach and potentially improve their 401k situation?
Well, for a lot of families that we visit with, their 401k or all of the other things that are just like it, a 403b, IRAs, all these different retirement savings accounts that are tax deferred, a lot of times they end up being their largest asset they ever have. So we really need to think about the gravity of the situation of how we can grow that to the best degree possible. So it's uncovering inside of that plan what some of your allocation options are, maybe thinking through some rebalancing, but also checking to see if you've got a Roth 401k option at your disposal, which many plans are out there and people don't even know that they can do it.
Need to get that knowledge. Pop the hood on that 401k. Question number 4, there are lots of investment options for people and their money, but why do you say some people should consider that Roth IRA?
It's my favorite type of money. I'm just fully transparent. I believe Roth money is some of the most important money that can be inside of a financial plan, because with Roth money, you have disinherited Uncle Sam forever. That is money that you've already paid taxes on, and it can grow in a retirement vehicle fashion, and it can drive income for you down the road without having to pay that ordinary income tax. So it's a very important part of the puzzle.
Sir, you had me at favorite. Love that. Question number 5, fair to say clients believe your advice is worth the money, but what kind of fee percentages should catch people off guard if their advisor is charging them that type of number?
Well, you know what's funny about that question is a lot of people that we visit with, they have no idea even what they're paying their advisor.
Wow.
Because I always ask that question, do you know how much in fees you're paying? And they say, I have no idea, and we'll go and we'll calculate it. And it's not just the fees that are being paid for maybe some sort of management, but it could be hidden embedded fees in whatever types of investment they have. Variable annuities are chock full of fees. Mutual funds could have some higher expense ratios. That's all that if you just do a little bit of digging, we can help unpack that. But a lot of the times people have no clue what it looks like.
You could potentially save a lot of money uncovering that right there. Question number 6, crazy stat from this study. People are 50% more likely to listen to advice of friends and family over an advisor. You've seen people like that, so what helps them change their minds?
Well, sadly, it works until it doesn't. And I can't tell you how many just disappointing stories that we've seen of someone that had to get burned. And I just try and help educate families that we meet with on the proper precautions that they should take when building out a retirement
Yeah.
plan so that they can avoid making a big oopsie.
Yeah, you can lead a horse to water, right?
That's right.
So got to make that decision in the end. Question number 7, potential strategies to help your money go even further. How does home equity factor into someone's retirement plan?
Well, I believe home equity should stay in the home. I don't believe that
love
we
that.
should be needing to sell the home to go create retirement income. If that's the situation you're in, I think that there's a lot of other things that need to be unpacked first. But I believe the equity, it's great for the balance sheet, it's great for the net worth statement, to have all of that. But most families that we visit with, they don't want to leave their homes in retirement. So I view that as cool. Maybe we just focus on increasing the equity by paying off the mortgage, so that's more income in their pocket down the road.
Sound strategies right there. Matt, 7 questions up, 8 to go on 15 and 15. We're going to take a quick break, but first, exclusively for our viewers, Matt has an offer for you right now for the first 5 callers. With a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your next steps to get ready for retirement. The number to call right now is 616-779-7726. Once again, that number, 616-779-7726. Back on the clock we go. Question number 8. According to a study, 78%, Matt, that's America's retirement score. What does that mean? That's the target income retirees will need to cover their expenses. It's down. Why is that a concern?
If I came home in high school with a 78% on a test score, I was in trouble.
Really?
And I think that if we're relying on numbers like that for our income in retirement and longevity and sustainability, then America might have a little bit of an issue. I don't think that people should be taking a step backwards in their income during retirement. They should be looking to, stay at their standard of living and continue the lifestyle that they're used to.
Understood. 78%, by the way. My dad would take me out for ribs if I got something that high. Question number 9, the future of Social Security. Always a topic of conversation, but for those not counting on it, instead looking to their workplace retirement plan, is that a sound strategy to help fill the bulk of their retirement income?
Well, Social Security was never designed to be a retirement plan.
Correct.
Right? So for those that don't need it, let's take a look at how we can best optimize the Social Security claiming strategy that they might have at their disposal, and also the best way to optimize tax-efficient distributions from their nest egg.
Tax efficiency, sign me up. Question number 10, you're never too young or frankly too old to save for retirement, but why should people make compounding their ally?
I mean, it's one of the wonders of the world, isn't it?
Yes, it is,
Right?
yeah.
Compound interest. Is it the 8th wonder?
It is,
Right?
yes.
So
Ding, ding.
It's one of those things to where we have to take advantage of. When you have compound interest on your side, it's pretty powerful. When you have it going against you, it could really, really be hurtful. So just making sure that we're saving enough for retirement and starting as early as we possibly can, that's really important.
Yeah, power on our side. Question number 11, artificial intelligence is here to make all our lives easier, right? But what about it investing for you? Your thoughts on AI picking your stocks?
Be careful.
Okay.
Proceed with caution. I love AI as a research tool, as a way to get education, but I'm not letting it make decisions for my clients' portfolios or for my money, that's for sure. It'd be like if I needed to have a medical procedure, am I gonna let AI tell me how to do a surgery on my hand or my arm?
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not. Same thing with your retirement. You only get one of it. I wouldn't leave it up to a computer.
Absolutely. Question number 12, instead of chasing a magic number, why is it more sound for retirees to think about how much they're going to spend year over year?
The magic number thing, honestly, it's getting worn out in this industry because it's such a one-size-fits-all analogy. It doesn't matter. If there was a number, every single person's is absolutely different. It's not about how much is there, it's about how much it can generate in sustainable retirement income throughout the rest of their lives.
This is not a cookie cutter approach. It is your customized retirement plan. Question number 13, how do you measure up? There are the headlines about how much have you saved and how do I compare to my neighbor that lead to that comparison game. So Matt, when people ask if they're on track, how do you handle that conversation?
I say it depends. Money is the thing that everyone wants to talk about, but they don't actually talk about it. Don't get your advice based off of some measuring stick from someone where you don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes. Talk to a professional and get an understanding of what it is that you need to try and accomplish and how that can be built out into a financial plan.
Yeah, so many different factors that go in besides just your paycheck. You really need to have that laid out. Question number 14, having the number to retire early is one thing, but do you also speak to people about what they're really retiring to?
I love this. I absolutely love this. I tell families all the time, my first job is to learn how to see retirement through their eyes. So I want to script out everything that they want to see in how they interact with their family, you know, how they travel, how they want to gift, how they want to spend their time together in these golden years. And then it's our job to build a plan around it, and that's a lot of fun.
Sidebar right quick. If someone's coming to you for that second opinion, how often are they caught off guard? That's the actual approach versus, hey, we're just going to put you in this stock and this stock.
Oh my gosh, so many people come into the office and they're expecting to be, you know, talked to about investments and such. We don't even talk about any of that stuff in a first visit with a family. We need to uncover what it is they're trying to accomplish and see where they're at in the journey to see if there's any way that we could possibly help. The investments come later. It's about the plan first.
I love that. Question number 15. If you write something down, chances are higher you'll find success. For the person, though, that has written their retirement plan on that paper napkin, what do they really need?
They need a bigger piece of paper. No, I love this because there is importance about writing it down. And that's one of the first things that we help people with in our planning process is establishing a written retirement income plan. This plan should tell them 4 critical things. Number 1, where their paychecks are coming from, how much they're going to be, how much they're going to increase over time, and how long they're going to last. We need to have that written and spelled out in a written manner so that we can then make investment decisions based on those objectives.
Matt, that's a powerful answer, and I love the checklist right there as well. Sir, 15 questions up, 15 questions down. You were off the clock. Excellent information. Taking a quick break, but first today exclusively for our Retirement Caddie viewers, Matt has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your next steps to get ready for retirement. A game plan to get you where you need to be. The number to call right now, it's 616-779-7726. Once again, that phone number, 616-779-7726.
If you're not always one to ask for directions, you're not alone. But sometimes plugging a destination into your GPS will allow you to enjoy the ride. You'll be more likely to avoid traffic and roadblocks. So Matt, what we have here is a GPS for retirement. That is, of course, our destination. If you can help guide us on the journey, we would be so grateful.
Absolutely.
We're going to get started here. I want to talk income. This is something that comes up so frequently in your office. What do people need to know?
Well, it's one of the first steps in the planning process because it's all about income.
Sure.
We ask the question between how much do you really need and how much do you want? So what's the necessary living expenses that are going to be required throughout retirement, and then how much is, you know, the fun money on top of it? And we try and build a plan that can work for both, but know that we've got certain measures in place to always be able to provide for those necessary needs. And we have to be thinking about how long's this journey. You know, this road, it only we're taking a hard left here, but we're talking a 30-year retirement. We have to really think about how much income is it gonna take, you know, the pile of money to generate that much income for that amount of time. So we have to build out a structured plan to account for that before we deal with anything else in a retirement plan.
Oh, potentially quite the road ahead, as you mentioned. I do want to ask you this, though. How often do you find people aren't aware of what their options really are?
All the time.
Okay.
It's not something that they put a lot of thought into during their working years because it's not, you know, top of mind because someone else is creating their income for them. And what we have to help them unpack is what are all the options, you know, between maybe they're blessed to still have a pension, maybe there's Social Security, distributions from their nest egg, maybe they have rental income, all these different things. We have to sort it out. We have to figure out, is there a gap? And if so, how can we go build that out for them?
All right, and we are moving right along here. Next stop, growth. What do we need to know?
Oh, I'm glad it's the next stop because I believe we shouldn't get to growth until we've built out, you know, the bucket of money inside of their investment portfolio that is dedicated to income. Once we've got that squared away, now it's time to go and take some risk.
Okay.
But what I am really, really passionate about is making sure that somebody's paycheck can never go up and down in regards to market volatility. So when we're gonna invest for growth, we're gonna align it with somebody's risk tolerance, and we're gonna allow them to know that, all right, if this goes up and down, it's not gonna affect their lifestyle. We separate the two things, so on the journey, it's a little bit more of a comfortable ride.
All right, absolutely. And as we continue here, taxes, Matt, so important, and yet, as we know, so frequently overlooked, right?
Yeah, there should have been some bumps in the road there because that's what it feels like. No, if we don't put proper planning measures in place. Because of taxes, retirement can get expensive very, very quickly. There are so many things that can sneak up on us. So we need to look at everything through the lens of tax strategy when it comes to building out these financial plans.
Why do you feel this is often overlooked?
Because it's not in the forefront of where our focus is during our working years, and many people don't understand that. When they transition to retirement, taxes are larger now than ever because the bulk for many families of their nest egg has never been taxed. So now it's time to pay the piper, as they say.
All right, so we've just navigated some bumps in the road. We make our way to protection. What do we need to know here?
Well, here's where I think about, how are we protecting the portfolio from the unexpected? Like, a healthcare invasion, something
Sure.
unexpected in that situation. So going through a process to evaluate what happens if there is a healthcare invasion, and do we have any kind of tools or vehicles at our disposal to help us just mitigate that risk a little bit.
Okay, and we've all worked so hard for so many years, a lot of us with one hope in mind, which is, of course, to leave a legacy.
Yep.
What gets missed here?
Really, all this comes down to is thinking through how you want your legacy to transfer to your loved ones, your kids, your beneficiaries, your heirs, all those things. Taxes are bundled up in this, things like probate, all of these different things. But what we have to do, because every family is different, is we have to uncover their wishes for how they want their assets to move to the next generation of whomever that is, and help them design a plan that's well equipped to do that.
Certainly an easier ride with a GPS. Thank you so much for helping us find our way to retirement. Matt, we appreciate it. And right now, for you at home, if you want to make sure you have a GPS for your retirement, Matt has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or more, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a plan analyzing where you are right now and discuss your next steps to really get ready for retirement. The number to call right now, 616-779-7726. Once again, that number, 616-779-7726.
We've alluded to the importance of having the right team on your side to have that confident retirement. Matt, I'm curious though, why is it so important for retirees to think about having that caddy as they go through their next journey?
Well, you think about, what a caddy represents to a golfer. It's someone that's going along with them on the journey and helping them out and helping them execute on the plan that they had in place. Now, I know everyone that's out there isn't as passionate about golf as I am, but to have that person that's riding shotgun, helping you, number one, develop your plan and then stick to it is super, super important.
No mulligans in retirement.
You only get one.
And I know to help our viewers at home, you have an offer.
That's right. For the first 5 callers who have saved $500,000 or more for retirement, I'd like to invite you to give our team a call, and we will personally help you create your very own retirement plan, and we'll do this on a complimentary basis.
Matt, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And once again, exclusively for our Retirement Caddy viewers, Matt has an offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or more, he's offering a complimentary retirement plan just for you.
That's right. This will allow Matt and his team to sit down with you personally and provide you with the plan, analyzing where you are right now, and then discuss your next steps to really get ready for retirement. A game plan to get you where you need to be. The number to call right now, it's 616-779-7726. Once again, that phone number, 616-779-7726.